This afternoon, we have the very good fortune of welcoming Dr. Martha Piper, the Interim President and Vice-Chancellor of the University of British Columbia, back to the Kelowna Chamber. It's been 10 years, actually, since we've had the pleasure of hearing from Dr. Piper, and we are looking forward to her remarks in just a few moments. But first, though, it is my pleasure to call upon Deborah Buzzard, who is UBC's Deputy Vice-Chancellor and Principal of the UBC Okanagan campus, to introduce Dr. Piper. Some of you may not know that prior to joining UBC Okanagan in 2012, Dr. Buzzard was a professor and administrator at Dalhousie University and earlier at McGill. Since coming to Kelowna, she has overseen all aspects of UBC Okanagan and has led the campus through a number of important milestones, including last fall's renewal of the Memorandum of Understanding between the university and the Okanagan Nation Alliance, and recently the release of the UBC Okanagan Campus Plan. And I have to say that is one phenomenal plan. If you have the opportunity to meet with these talented planners who have created this future for UBC, you really take the time and listen and see these presentations. So if you think UBCO looks fantastic now, wow, just wait to see what they have for us in the future. So without further ado, please welcome me in and join, asking Deborah to join us, and then we'll welcome you. Thank you. You're so welcome.
Do I need to move this?
This is the one actually that Savannah.
Okay. And thank you, Caroline. It's a girl power kind of day, and today I read that it's the 100th anniversary of women in Canada first getting the vote. So that's a good thing to celebrate, I think. I would like to respectfully acknowledge, as we do, and really enjoy this blessing of being on the traditional territories of the Okanagan Nation. It's a wonderful opportunity for UBC to be here in the Okanagan. And it's fabulous to see so many of our friends, colleagues, supporters, board members, former board members, people who serve in so many ways from this community who've helped to make us what we are today. Our campaign cabinet from our fundraising campaign, people who volunteer to serve on our Senate and other committees. Thank you all for actually making UBC our university here. One face in the room, of course, who is probably very familiar to all of you is Dr. Martha Piper. Many will remember her as the UBC president who championed the UBC campus coming here 10 years ago, and who oversaw from the UBC side the transformation from Okanagan University College to UBC Okanagan and to Okanagan College. A decade on, we here are in the incredibly enviable position of having two outstanding post-secondary institutions, thanks in large part to the foundation set by Martha Piper and my good friend here in the community, Jim Hamilton of Okanagan College. You might say it's serendipitous that we welcome Martha back to UBC in the 10th anniversary year of our campus here in the Okanagan. In doing so, we have a very special opportunity to reflect on how far we've come in the last 10 years and where the UBC campus here is, and indeed the city is, where we might be in 10 years' time. And I have to say it was an unexpected pleasure, of course, for me to actually have an opportunity to work with Martha, because when I joined the Okanagan campus here, all I heard was, well, Martha's vision was. So it's great to have her back to account for that. And it is my distinct pleasure to formally introduce my colleague, Martha Piper. She's a native of Lorain, Ohio, and earned her PhD at McGill University before going on to various leadership roles both at McGill and later at the University of Alberta. She served from 1997 to 2006 as the 11th president of the University of British Columbia. She's an officer of the Order of Canada, a member of the Order of British Columbia, and is now serving in a unique second go-round as the president of UBC in its centennial year. I must say it has been a huge pleasure to be working with you for the last few months and learning so much from her wisdom and experience. So please join me in welcoming Martha to speak. Thank you.
I'm not sure where to put that. Thank you so much, Deborah, for that kind introduction. It is wonderful to be back here in Kelowna to talk about one of my favorite things, UBC Okanagan. But I have to say, Deborah, I'm not sure serendipitous is quite the right adjective to describe why I'm back. It is a treat, however, and a real honor and privilege. And I'm particularly appreciative to all of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here this afternoon. I sincerely appreciate your attendance. The last time I spoke to the Kelowna Chamber of Commerce was in 2005, 10 years ago. We had just officially opened UBC Okanagan, and the record shows, and I actually went back and reread the speech, that I spent 25 minutes on a series of supercharged predictions for UBC Okanagan. I'm not sure how that could have been. I tend to be very calm. Supercharged predictions for UBC Okanagan's growth and success over the next 10 years. But here's the thing. When I came back to the campus last fall in September, for the first time in almost a decade, I was shocked. I was overwhelmed. I was just dumbstruck to find out that I had not been optimistic enough. It was amazing. It was unbelievable. Just put yourself in that situation. It's almost like Back to the Future, a future you had predicted, but you had not predicted enough. I already, before I walked on the campus, knew the statistics. I knew that by 2015, UBC had invested collectively over $400 million to double the size of the campus, to triple the institutional floor space, and to quintuple the number of student residence spaces. I knew that enrollment had surpassed our wildest predictions, growing from 3,500 in 2005 to nearly 8,400 this year. I knew that we had almost tripled the research budget from $7 million to $18 million a year. And I had been briefed on the incredible success of many of the schools, including the School of Engineering, and I had already celebrated quietly the graduation of the first class of physicians from the Southern Medical Program. Amazing. But I still didn't truly realize that UBC Okanagan, as it stands in 2015, was going to be so truly magnificent. I didn't anticipate the actual transformation of the campus. I was overwhelmed because I came to welcome the first-year students. I was overwhelmed by the incredible student body, including the amazing commitment to and growth of the Aboriginal student population. What an extraordinary accomplishment. Somehow I am always surprised by the quality of UBC students, and I don't know why I should continue to be so, because most of our students could win admission to any university on earth and actually raise the standard by going there. Consider one of your students, Jeff Krupa, a physics student who now serves on our Board of Governors. Jeff recently was one of 5 undergraduate students in Canada, one of 5 throughout the whole country who has been awarded an internship at CERN, the major particle physics program in Europe. An incredible accomplishment, one that we should all celebrate. A student right here from Kelowna studying at UBC Okanagan. We are incredibly blessed with the students who are currently attending UBC Okanagan. We have also been incredibly blessed by the quality of faculty that have flocked to Kelowna in the past decade. Clearly people like Deborah who've chosen to come and lead, an amazing talent coming here to bring the kind of leadership that this university campus deserves. Again, there isn't an institution in the world that wouldn't fight to attract someone like John Kliranomos, a biologist and a recently appointed member of the Royal Society of Canada. John has already changed the way everyone in the world understands and thinks about soil, about the most fundamental building block for the stuff of life. Or think about Philip Barker, our new Vice Principal of Research here. He's a product of the University of Alberta and Stanford, and most recently, due to Deborah's leadership, we tempted him away from McGill, where he was a Tier 1 Canada Research Chair and a professor in the departments of neurology and neurosurgery, anatomy, and cell biology. No small feat. I can't think of a better qualified person to lead research right here in the Valley, and quite frankly in Canada, in the decade to come. And of course, Phil has something else going for him. He was raised right here. He's come home. So important to attract our talent back. And it was UBC Okanagan that was able to do that. You see, excited as I was about the potential for UBC Okanagan, what I really didn't expect was all of you. I really did not anticipate the welcome that UBC was to receive here in the Okanagan. The community's embrace, the community's ownership of this campus is stunning. I didn't count on the help that would come so generously from people like former UBC Board of Governors chairs, Teresa Arsenault and Brad Bennett, and of course Gordon Clark, who was an original member of our President's Advisory Council. I didn't count on the welcome and cooperation we would enjoy with Chief Robert Louis. I didn't expect such close partnership with the City of Kelowna, with Mayors Walter Gray and Sharon Shepherd, and with our current Mayor Colin Basran, as well as Mayor Baker of Lake Country, who's here with us today. To each of them, and to all of you who have come this afternoon and who have engaged and supported UBC Okanagan in the last decade, I am here today to say thank you. From the construction of safe transportation infrastructure to the contributions of more than, and I'm looking at Terry, more than $100 million. Terry, when I laid that charge down, no one believed us, right? $100 million that has come from this community over the last decade to the UBC Start an Evolution campaign. For all of that, you have supported us at every step, and I could not be more grateful, or perhaps more inspired. So now we have a UBC, a great university with 2 fully formed great campuses. A research-intensive university that stands consistently among the top 3 in Canada, and I think it's actually the top 2 in Canada, and the top 3 dozen universities in the world. You realize 800 universities they rank. Everything from Yale, Harvard, Princeton, Stanford, Cambridge, Oxford, Beida, Tsinghua, you name it, the best in the world, 800. And we were 34th out of 800, of which most of those 800 are many centuries older than we are. A research university that Times Higher Education named this month UBC #1 in North America on the list of the world's most international universities. #1 in North America, being the most international. And among public universities, so take out the Harvards, Yales, Princeton, Stanfords. Just look at the public universities in North America, which includes University of Wisconsin, University of Indiana, University of Illinois, University of everything. Where do you think we rank? Number 6. Number 6. Berkeley, UCLA, University of Toronto, University of Michigan, University of Washington, University of British Columbia, 2 campuses. University of British Columbia, 2 campuses, 6th in North America in public research universities. That is incredible. In a competition that includes every public institution in every American and Mexican state and every Canadian province, we are comfortably 6th. And actually, we're only about 1 point behind the University of Washington, so I kind of think we're number 5. We're keeping company with universities such as Berkeley and UCLA, Michigan, and we're ahead of schools such as the University of Wisconsin, the University of Illinois and Indiana, UC San Diego, and University of Texas, and on and on. So we are really, really good. But let's be honest, we can always be better. And it's clear over the next decade we have the opportunity to be the best university in Canada, the best university in Canada, #1 in Canada, and one of a handful of truly outstanding global universities. On the foundation that we have built together right here in the Okanagan and in Vancouver, we can be the Berkeley of Canada, or as our founder Frank Westbrook articulated in 1915 in his vision, the Cambridge of the Pacific. And again, with your help and the track record that we've experienced in the last 10 years right here, I am so confident. I can't believe I'll be back 10 years from now, but I am so confident that you will be back here 10 years from now and you will be celebrating these achievements. So what does UBC Okanagan look like in 2025? What will you achieve for this campus over the next 10 years? Let's start with the campus. Caroline has already said it. We have big plans. In fact, our 2015 campus plan contemplates 2 more decades of campus development. I mentioned that we have already doubled our academic space. It's now at 72,000 square meters. Well, the campus plan looks to the provision of 85,000 more square meters. We now have 1,676 student residence spaces. The campus plan will increase that number by 2,200 for a total of nearly 4,000 student residence spaces. And we will have transformed, I know with the help of the people in this room, our current library into an expanded and innovative learning center where students can access information as well as learn in a digitized and personalized environment. And we and you have benefited by the excellent transportation connections along Highway 97. We look now to the development of new links to the Glenmore Valley, including safe cycling routes along John Hindle Drive. What about the links to the community? What about UBCO's impact on the economic development and social and cultural integrity of the Okanagan Valley. The 12-hectare research and innovation precinct immediately north of the campus will provide the perfect complement for the Okanagan Center for Innovation, currently under construction downtown. Our park will accommodate the large-scale and heavy industrial users like aerospace, ballistics, impact, and safety testing facilities that are inappropriate in an urban environment. Working with Okanagan College, we will both attract and educate the skilled personnel needed to make these facilities globally competitive, creating good jobs and a sustainable economy. We'll also continue to nurture our relationships, such as the Healthy City Partnership that is now flourishing among UBCO, the Interior Health Region, and the City of Kelowna. The promotion of wellness, rather than the treatment of illness, and the emphasis on healthy aging is clearly a particular focus and strength of UBC Okanagan, and I hope it happens soon. I need it. Community support will remain strong. People from all walks of life will be serving on university advisory committees, alumni groups, the Board of Governors, or advocacy panels. In 2025, we will be raising $50 million of private funding every year, and people will be wearing UBCO sweatshirts and caps and jogging pants wherever they go, wherever they are, wherever you see them. They'll have those caps on, they'll have the heat across them. They will be UBCO pride. And so from agri-food and wineries to high-tech industries, from attracting and establishing health and wellness spin-off companies and services, to enriching the cultural fabric of our lives, UBC will be here to serve the people of Kelowna and the Valley. What about our faculty and students? What will they look like a decade from now? We will continue, I can guarantee you, we will continue to attract and retain scholars in every field, in every discipline of the highest caliber. This is the place to come. They will compete for and win federal research dollars, which will come into this region and create jobs and sweep up national and international awards. They will create key research clusters and cement UBCO's unique reputation for innovation, personalized research-based teaching. As for our students, think about this. Today, approximately 30% of UBC Okanagan students come from the Valley. But here's the interesting statistic. Over 60% of our graduates stay in the Valley after they graduate. That's a pretty good return. A decade from now, we will have more students coming from all regions of British Columbia and from every province in Canada. International students will continue to come from every part of the world. Our student body will be even more diverse, representing every socioeconomic sector and all religious and ethnic groups. They will speak more than one language and will have lived or worked in more than one country. We will have doubled the student financial aid, helping us to recruit the best students in terms of academic achievement and leadership through scholarships named after people in this room who will serve as models of citizenship living right here in the Valley. Those students will move seamlessly between the two campuses, accessing courses and programs at UBCV, and students at UBCV accessing and taking courses here at UBCO. That's my challenge to all of our senators here. We've got to see that happen. As part of their time here, UBCO students will work in your businesses, schools, and hospitals. They will invent new technologies and start spin-off companies. They will make life better for everyone who lives here. And most important, they will choose to stay in the Valley to work and raise their families. While looking ahead is always so much fun, it's also fraught with challenges. Priorities can change, the economic picture is always unpredictable, world events are unimaginable, but one thing is certain. Education is and always will be of value. As my grandfather once taught me, you can lose your wealth, your health can become compromised, your loved ones might die, and you might experience a natural tragedy, such as a flood or fire. But one thing you will never lose or have taken away from you, your education. Clearly, education is the wisest investment any province or country can make to ensure the prosperity of our future. As someone told me recently, Site C may be important, but the day it opens, it will begin to lose value. Education, on the other hand, only increases in its value and continues to grow. It's for this simple reason that I know, I'm old enough to know certain things. I know that while some of the specifics I've predicted today may not occur, the future of UBC Okanagan is bright and strong, something that all of us can take to the bank and claim credit for, something that our children and our grandchildren will thank us for years to come. Thank you very much.